Welcome. Okay, so tonight we are going to be focusing on poses that open up the throat chakra, poses that open up Ajna, the third eye. So we're going to have a lot of neck and shoulder releases built into the routine, but it is a traditional flow. So we will actually tonight, in honor of the blue moon that we had on Halloween, I've decided I'm also going to bring to you, which also has the effect of opening up Ajna and opening up Vishudha. We're going to do moon salutations to begin our practice. But why don't we go ahead and first start sitting down. And I advise, if you want, go ahead and get a hold of a block, get a hold of a bolster or a meditation cushion, whatever is your liking. Sometimes it's nice, it helps us to sit up nice and tall when we can just slightly raise our hips above our knees. And so I invite you to join us at the mat, fully present in this moment, present physically, present spiritually, present emotionally, in the here and in the now. Go ahead, if you wish, go ahead and close your eyes. And on your inhale, go ahead and draw the crown of your head up to the sky or the ceiling as you allow your shoulders to draw down your back and away from your ears, stacking them over your hips. And then draw your cranium back in alignment with your back. And start to inhale through the nose. And exhale. As you inhale, expand your belly. And as you exhale, draw your belly in. Inhaling deeply. And fully exhaling. Take another inhale. And fully exhale. Take one more inhale. And exhale. We're going to do 5 cycles of the moon-piercing breath. Coincidentally, as we are celebrating our blue moon, our full moon that is now beginning to wane, the moon-piercing breath also stimulates both the throat chakra and the third eye chakra. I feel like I hit the jackpot when these ideas hit. Actually, it was the other day that I was wanting a more mellow practice with my student, and we were thinking what would be a wonderful breathing technique. Well, in honor of that moon, we brought the moon-piercing breath, and it just happened to align up with the hand mudra that we were working on this week. So, and it's Angusha mudra. So go ahead and take your hand and make a letter Y. We're going to breathe in through the left nostril and exit through the right nostril and do this circular breathing in one nostril and out the other. We're going to do 5 cycles of that. Go ahead and depress your right nostril with your right thumb and inhale through your left. Pause at the top, change sides, and then exhale through the right. Switch sides. Compress your right nostril and inhale through the left. And switch sides, compress your left nostril and exhale through the right. Switch sides, compress the right, inhale through the left. And switch sides, compress the left nostril and exhale through the right. Switch sides, compress your right nostril, inhale through the left. Switch sides, compress your left nostril and exhale through the right. 2 more cycles. Inhale through the left. Pause at the top, compress your left nostril, and exhale through the right. Compress your right nostril, inhale through the left. And pause at the top, compress your left nostril, and exhale through the right. Go ahead and inhale your hands out and up. And then exhale them out and down. That would be mush behind me, everybody. Inhale your hands out and up. And exhale them out and down. One more inhale, out and up. And then on your exhale, go ahead and lean forward. I'm going to move my meditation pillow. And I'm going to reach my hands forward, stretching out the space on the back of my right hip because my right foot is forward in Ajna. Go ahead and hold this, drawing your crown of your head forward, drawing your heart center forward and slightly down. If you want, you can tent your hands to lift up your shoulders. You can do whatever is comfortable for you in this pose. Inhale, go ahead and rise up, switch sides. I'm placing my left foot in front. You can place your right foot in front, whatever is working for you. I think this cat is telling us she wants outside. Mind to see that? Inhale your hands up, and then exhale, go ahead. Leaning forward, place your hands on the floor and walk them forward. Drawing the crown of your head forward, drawing your heart center forward. Stretching out the back of your left hip. You can just like open that door. You don't have to call her, she'll just go. Inhale. Exhale. Did she go out? Yeah. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back. I've told Stephen he needs to start a studio, and I think we need to have a resident cat just to entertain the viewers when we start that. Yes. Go ahead and rise up to a standing position. Go ahead and move to one side of your mat. I'm going to move to the right of my mat. Take your Tadasana, standing nice and tall, drawing your shoulders back and down, drawing your belly button in against the spine, allowing your heart center to rise up, drawing the crown up to the sky or the ceiling. Inhale your hands up. On your exhale, take Chandrasana to the right, the moon, half moon pose. Drawing to the right, creating a letter C to the right, drawing your left shoulder back. Inhale, rising up, and then exhale, go to the left. Inhale, rise up. Hold on a minute, everybody. I'm sorry, I do this all the time. And then we're going to open up into Goddess. So in Goddess pose, shine your heart center, open up your throat, draw your shoulders back, allowing your tailbone to pull towards the floor. So you want to make sure that your shoulders are in line with your hips and that your knees are in line with your toes. Take an inhale. Exhale, rise up into star. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, tilting to your left, moving into triangle pose. Adjust your legs however you need to, and place your hand wherever feels good to you. It can be on the floor, it can be on your ankle, it can be on your shin. Whatever works for you. Take an inhale. Exhale. Take another inhale. And on your exhale, place your right hand on the floor, setting up for pyramid pose. Go ahead and draw your heart center and your crown forward. And on your exhale, fold over your left leg, drawing your right hip forward, drawing your left hip back. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, go ahead and set up and take a nice lunge. And draw your heart center forward, draw the crown of your head forward. Really make the most of your lunge. Take another inhale. And then on your exhale, let's go into Skandasana on the left. So you can rise your hands up in Skandasana, or you can have them on the floor. And what you're getting is a nice, wonderful stretch along the inside of your left thigh. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to move in to Yogi pose. Oh, wait a minute. I feel like I missed something. In fact, I know I did. Did I? Yes, I did. We don't even do Yogi pose. Sorry about that, guys. So, hold on a minute. I do this all the time. I really am sorry about that. Oh, no, we don't do Yogi pose. I take that back. Sorry, we start and end with Chandrasana. I get very confused because it's kind of like a circular pattern when you do moon salutation. It's so much different than sun. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, we're going to go into Skandasana on the right side. So you're basically doing everything in the reverse order that you did it before. So in Skandasana, you can have your hands out. You can have them on the floor. You can even lift up your toes if you want and just have a nice delicious stretch on the inside of your right thigh. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, turn and go into that lunge, facing the right side where you started initially on your mat. So it might be the top of the mat, if you will. Take an inhale. Exhale, move up into pyramid pose. So you have to shorten your stance slightly. Draw the crown of your head forward. And then on your exhale, as you go down, draw your right hip back as you bring your left hip forward. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, let's open up into triangle pose. So draw your left shoulder back, pull your belly button up against the spine. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, rise up into star. Draw your shoulders back in alignment with your hips. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead, take that goddess pose again. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up to the left side. In to Tadasana, prayer pose. Inhale your hands overhead. Exhale, Chandrasana to the left, half moon to the left. Draw your right shoulder back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to the right. Chandrasana to the right. Inhale, rise up. Exhale your hands down. And hands to prayer. So now we're going to do all that in the other order and wind up on that side of the mat. I'm going to give myself a little bit more space over here. Take an inhale. And then exhale your hands down and up. Exhale, Chandrasana to the left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Chandrasana to the right. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, open up into goddess pose. Again, draw your shoulders back and down. Allow your heart center to open up. Allow your throat to open up. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, rise up into star. Stack your shoulders evenly over your hips. Lift up out of your pelvis as you inhale deeply. And then exhale, tilt your way into triangle pose. Draw your left hand back. Your left shoulder rather, as you bring your right shoulder forward, stacking it underneath your left shoulder. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, place your left hand on the floor, setting up for pyramid pose. Take an inhale, drawing the crown of your head forward. And then on your exhale, go ahead and fold over your right leg as you bring your left hip forward and bring your right hip back. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead and open up into that lunge, bending your front leg deeply, straightening out your left leg behind you. Take an inhale. Take an exhale, moving into Skandasana. So turning both of our toes forward, keeping our right leg bent as we stretch the inside of our left thigh. Take an inhale. Exhale, moving back into Malasana, Garland Pose, or Yogi Squat, whatever you want to call it. Take an inhale, rise your heart center up, rise the crown of your head up. And then on your exhale, place your hands down and move into Skandasana on your left side. Okay, so remembering, stretching out the inside of the right thigh, drawing your heart center up and forward. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, moving into that lunge. Left leg is in front now, right leg is behind. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, moving back into pyramid pose. Draw the crown of your head forward and exhale it down. Draw your left hip back as you bring your right hip forward. And then on your exhale, go ahead, open up into triangle pose. Drawing your shoulder back as you draw your left shoulder underneath. Take an inhale. Exhale, rise up into star. And then exhale, taking goddess pose. Drawing your shoulders back and down. Bringing your tailbone straight down to the floor. Making sure that your knees are in alignment with your feet. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, moving to the right. Bring our feet together. Tadasana, hands overhead. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, draw your hands to the right as you open up into half moon Chandrasana on the right side. Inhale, rising up. And then exhale to the left, Chandrasana on the left, half moon pose. Take an inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands down to prayer pose. Doesn't that feel wonderful to do that? So let's move to the center of our mats again. I really like the idea of going into Malasana again today. I just feel that it's a pose that we should consider tonight. So go ahead, spread your legs wide, rising up out of the pelvis, and then go ahead and lower down, bringing your hips back in space as you move down for stability, and then eventually arriving at the bottom. And when you are in Malasana or Garland Pose or Yogi Squat, what I want you to concentrate on is drawing the crown of your head high up to the sky as you draw your shoulders further back. And instead of crunching down into it like this, I really want you to create length in your spine, opening up your energy channels from the base of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. And if you find it difficult to be in this pose, let's say your problem is your Achilles tendons, they're not long enough, you can go ahead and lift up your heels. If you want, you can place a blanket underneath them to give you stability. Let's say the problem is your heels go to the ground, but your butt doesn't. You can also place a block or a bolster underneath your bottom to give you support. This is a pose Americans oftentimes aren't used to. We don't open up our hips, we sit on hard furniture or soft furniture, but we love our furniture. So this isn't a pose that we've really become accustomed to being in. And it just takes time and patience. Let's go ahead and take the bound version of this pose. So go ahead, take your left arm on the inside of your left leg, wrap your left arm behind you, take your right arm behind, and if you're able to engage in the bind, go right on ahead. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of finagling with your arms to make it possible. And then just go ahead and twist to the right. As you twist to the right, continue to work your way back into your heels. Continue to work that right shoulder backwards. Take an inhale, and then an exhale. Take another inhale, and then on the exhale, place your left hand down, pick your right arm up, and just open up your heart center, and open up your body to the right. And then exhale. Return back to that prayer pose. We're going to go ahead and take the bind on the right side. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead and bring your right shoulder inside. Wrap your left arm around. Bring your left arm around behind you. And then you might need to do a little bit of finagling to get your hands to clasp. If they don't clasp, it's okay. You can always use a strap. You can always just do your best to draw them together. They don't have to actually reach. And then what I want you to do is work on sitting up and drawing your left shoulder back. See, on this side, this shoulder doesn't want to do the same thing as my other side. So the body is oftentimes different one side to the other. So I just want you to draw your left shoulder back as you kind of look up to the ceiling. Take another inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead and place your left hand on the floor, further opening up your hip, and draw your left hand up overhead. And just work on twisting to the left and drawing your left shoulder back. The hand will follow. Take one more inhale, and then on the exhale, draw your hands together at heart center. And just breathe for a moment. If you want to stay here in Halasana and just meditate, that's an option. But I'm going to go ahead and move backwards so that the camera can see me better. And I'm going to go ahead and move into crow pose. So to get into crow, what you want to do is kind of move your shoulders as much as you can down by your knees. So like your knees are kind of touching your armpits if you can get them there. And then you just lean into it. Lift up one leg, lift up the other. And then straighten your arms to the degree that you can. And do your best to bring your hips up and overhead. Take another inhale. Release down with control. And if you want, you can join me in crow pose on the right side. So to do that, bring your feet together and squat down. Turn your body to the right. Go ahead and rise up, actually like into a chair pose. Place your hands on the floor, and then just lean in to your right arm. And sometimes it's easier than others. See, this is when we're inspired and not skilled all the time. Or maybe not warmed up. Okay, let's try this again. This is really a preparation pose for many others. Okay, and then you just work on crunching your abs and bringing it together. I haven't done side crunch in a while. So, well, now I've provided your entertainment on one side, I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other because we have to have balance. So, turn your knees to the left side. Kind of do like a chair pose with your body. Get your hands on the ground. And then set up your hands so that they are both equal distance apart facing the mat. Go ahead and balance your left knee on top of your left elbow. And then go ahead and rise up. This time is easier. I'm not holding them for long. All right, back into Halasana again for your entertainment. So let's take another inhale. And then on the exhale, let's go ahead and take a seat on our shins. I'm going to go to the middle of the mat. I look like I'm really far away from the camera. Just take a moment to allow the fluid, your synovial fluid, to flood your knee joint. Make it juicy, if you will. Deep knee bends are very healthy for you. They're really, really good for increasing mobility in the joint, bringing rich fluid to the joint, breaking up crystallizations and adhesions in the joint. If you feel called to do so and you feel able, go ahead and separate your legs, keep your knees together, and sit down for a moment in hero. Hero further deepens the knees and rotates your hip socket inward. Not everybody can do that deep rotation, so if you find it's difficult, you can stay in the pose you were in before, but you can also lift up your hips on a block or a bolster. Now, a lot of people in this pose completely lay back. That's called reclined hero. I'm not going to take that pose tonight. It doesn't work out so well for my sacroiliac joints. But Stephen over here, man, he's a master at that one.
You know what I did the other day was half reclined hero with one leg bent underneath you.
Yes, you can do that. You're
and
right.
I didn't think of that. It was one of my students who said,
Yes.
and it was nice.
That's
So.
a nice modification.
Yeah.
Another option you can do is you can just like totally prop up with bolsters and blocks
There you go.
to experience that chest opening that you get with that pose. There's lots of different ways to move into poses, and that's the beautiful thing about yoga is that everything can be modified. Well, maybe not every single thing, but most can be modified. Go ahead and rise out of that pose. Go ahead and tuck your toes and sit back on your toes. We're going to set up for rabbit. Rabbit is a wonderful pose for stimulating Ajna and also stimulating the crown chakra. Go ahead and reach back, grab your heels, fold into your knees. Draw your knees up to your body as you pull on your heels, and then place the crown of your head. Place the crown of your head on the floor. I don't know how well I can be heard because it's kind of constricting my throat a little bit. Just use your energy to draw it all in. You're working your ab muscles, placing your crown of your head on the floor. One more inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and rise back up. Still in that deep knee bend if you find that hard. Feel free to just lift up out of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and flatten my feet on the floor. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to take, oh, it's got a special pose name and I've already forgotten it. Sorry everybody, this happens, but I can tell you how to go through it. It's the seal of the Yogi. Thank you.
Yogic seal.
Yeah, so you take your hands behind you. You clasp your hands behind you like so. Okay. Look back. I'm going to now face the forward part of the camera again. Sit back on your heels. Draw your heart center up as you bring your hands down towards the floor. Take a nice rich inhale. And now your exhale, fold over your legs. Placing the crown, the forehead of your forehead on the floor. And then if it's available, draw your hands up. It's also called blade, this arm position. It is chest opening. It is throat opening. And it is stimulating of the third eye chakra. Use this pose to ground yourself. Use this pose to deepen your understanding of yourself by turning inward. Use this pose to more deeply connect with your inner self, to connect with your inner voice. Take one more inhale. Exhale fully. Now inhale, rise up. Isn't that wonderful? Go ahead. Place your hands out to either side. Move back into tabletop pose. And we're just going to use this as an opportunity to open up the shoulders a little bit more, open up the front of the chest. Go ahead and draw your heart center towards the floor. Open up your shoulders. And just hold it there, allowing yourself this opportunity to fully open up. Go ahead and rise up. Let's go ahead, move forward, take a plank pose, and lower down fully, placing your belly on the floor. Let's just take Sphinx pose for a moment. Drawing our heart center up as we bring our shoulders down. Engaging the muscles of our spine in this meaningful way, strengthening them. Creating a healthy arch along the middle of your back that is created through your own muscle energy. Continue to draw your shoulders back and down as you draw your heart center forward and up. Maybe open up your throat. Lift up your head. Open up the throat. Connect with the voice inside of you. Take another inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead and lower down. Place your hands out to the side as we rise up in baby cobra. So go ahead and raise your shoulders up to your ears, draw them down your back. As you lift up, really opening up the heart center in this pose. Lift up as far as feels good to you. Maybe open up the throat again. And then on your exhale, go ahead and lower down. Let's take one last interesting front body opening pose. We're going to take crocodile. So in crocodile, basically, you just kind of move your hands out in front of you at a diagonal. I'm moving them probably 14 inches from my body. And then go ahead and lift up. And you can move your arms towards you, but you're basically keeping your arms straight at a diagonal in front of you. Increasing that arch in your back. So it's not an upward dog. I'll show you this pose from the side. Love my round mat. So it's not an upward facing dog. It is crocodile. So you're just pushing your hands out in front of you, drawing your heart center up and forward, which is different than having them underneath your shoulders. Take one more inhale, and then exhale, lower down. Let's go ahead and rise up, back into tabletop position. And rise up on our knees, hands overhead. Let's go ahead and take a camel pose. I'm reaching back for my heels, lifting my heart center up, lifting out of my pelvis, maybe moving my hips forward and then dropping my head back and opening up my throat. Take one more inhale, and then exhale, draw your chin to your chest, draw your belly button into the spine, rise your hands up overhead, and then exhale, bring your hands down. Go ahead and take a counter pose, sitting back on your heels, laying down over your thighs, placing your forehead on the floor, bringing your hands behind you in child's pose. Take another inhale, exhale fully, and then inhale, rise up, bringing your hands overhead, Lift up out of the pelvis, lifting up the heart center, lifting up the hands, creating as much body length as you can from your knees all the way to your fingertips. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead and reach back for your heels again. Lift up your heart center, lifting up out of your pelvis, maybe shifting your hips forward, maybe opening up your throat, dropping your head back. Take another inhale. And then on your exhale, draw chin to chest, pull in your belly button, rise up. Exhale, sit back on your heels, hands alongside your legs as you lay down. Cross your legs, placing your forehead on the floor. Go ahead and rise up. Exhale, hands to prayer. And our final strength pose of the night is going to be eagle pose, also called Dharabhasana. So to get into eagle, I think what I'm going to do is first show you chair pose from a side position. Go ahead and rise your hands up. Exhale, move into chair, moving your hips back in space, moving your weight back into your heels, okay? So your chair can be up high, it can be kind of more down low, but what you do want is to engage all the muscles of your back. You want to draw your belly button into your spine. You want to work towards tipping your tailbone towards the floor. So you want to have a little bit of a pelvic tilt downwards in this pose, and then continue to move your hips backwards in space. So this is the starting point for eagle. So let's go ahead and rise up. Bring our hands to heart center. Take your position on the mat where you are indeed going to do this pose. So inhale your hands up. Exhale, sitting them down. Take your right leg, crossing it over your left. And then if you can, if it's available to you, go ahead and clip your left toes behind your right. Create eagle arms. Wrap your left arm underneath your right arm, clasping your hands together. Draw your shoulders back. Go ahead and sit up in your eagle. Drawing your shoulders back and down. And then lift up your elbows. Find a fixed point in the distance. And breathe evenly and slowly. One more inhale. Exhale, gently unravel your arms, rise them up overhead, and roll your legs. Exhale, take your hands down into prayer. Catch your breath for a moment. A lot of muscle energy. So we're doing our Vinyasa flow tonight, but because we're focusing on Ajna, because we're focusing on Vishudha, it's a bit slow moving tonight. Not as much of a power Vinyasa flow as some nights have been. Let's go ahead and bring our hands overhead. Sit back down into chair. Exhale, take our left leg over our right. And if you can, flip your toes behind. Take those robot arms. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. Bring your hands together. Draw your shoulders back. Draw your belly button in. Rise up your elbows. Find a fixed point. And look at that point. Gaze with your drishti gaze at your fixed point off in the distance. Take one more inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands up overhead. Release your foot. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Bring your hands to heart center. And let's go ahead and do a couple of wide-legged forward folds to encourage the release of the neck. So go ahead and take your legs beyond the width of your hips. They can be as wide as you want them to be. Okay? The wider they are, the easier the forward fold. The closer together, the more engagement of your hamstrings. Either way, you're engaging those hamstrings. So go ahead and place your hands on your hips and place them also on your sits bones behind you, on your sacrum. Okay? Take an inhale, lifting up your heart center. And then on your exhale, lift your sits bones up to the sky, up to the ceiling. As you shift your weight forward in your foot onto your big toe mound. Draw your elbows together. Draw your shoulder points together. And then drop the crown of your head. Using this forward fold to release any tension in your shoulders by drawing them away from your ears. And to release any tension by allowing the weight of the cranium to create traction, drawing tension away from the neck, creating space. Continue to allow your heart center to draw towards the floor. Continue to work your sits bones towards the ceiling. If you feel your lower back engaging, you can release out of that. You can draw your shoulder blades together even more to straighten out your back. Take another inhale. Fully exhale. And then on the inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do that again, but this time we're going to use our fingers, wrap them around our big toes, anchor our thumbs into the floor, draw our elbows out as we draw our shoulder blades in to really further release our neck. So take an inhale, hands overhead. On the exhale, hands out to the side, hinging forward, swan diving. Go ahead and grab your big toes. Shift your weight to your big toe mounds, so the ball joint of your foot. Place your thumbs on the floor to make it easier for you. Draw on the inhale, draw the crown of your head forward. On the exhale, draw your elbows out as you draw your shoulder blades together. Drawing your heart center towards the floor, drawing your sits bones to the sky, and then release your head. When you release your head, just allow all the blood to rush down your face. Allow it to rush to the crown of your head. Maybe open up your eyes and say, what is the perspective of the world when I'm upside down? How can I see things differently? One of the mantras that goes with Ajna is, I see. So, as you are upside down, as you are flipping your world, ask yourself, what do you see? Take another inhale. Fully exhale, draw your heart center towards your legs. Drawing your sits bones towards the sky, drawing your shoulder blades together. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, place your hands in the center of the mat. Just stand here for a moment, allowing your back to be nice and flat. Your hands underneath your shoulders, drawing your shoulder blades together as you widen your collarbones. Concentrating your efforts on opening up the back of your thighs. Take an inhale. On the exhale, bring your hands to your sacrum again. Draw your elbows together, draw your shoulder points together, and then inhale, rise up. And then exhale, go ahead and walk your feet together. Bring your hands together at prayer. Take a moment to draw attention to your third eye. Helps when you close your eyes. Draw your attention inward. Let's take an inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale them down. Go ahead and take a squat on the floor. Bend your legs deeply. Rise up on your heels. So you're sitting on your toes. And just hold your thighs together. And try to lift your hips up off of your heels. Draw your shoulders back and down. Feel the strength of this pose. Feel the strength in your thighs. Take another inhale. And on your exhale, go ahead and release that down. Moving back onto your sits bones and go ahead and take a wide-legged forward fold. Initially, just sit up in your wide-legged forward fold. Rotate your inner thighs up so that your kneecaps are facing the sky. Draw your toes back. Make sure that your toes are facing the ceiling. Your foot are flexed. Your feet are flexed. Go ahead and inhale your heart center up. And then on the exhale, let's go ahead and take Ardha Chandrasana on the right side. So you can grab your right foot in any way that works for you. I'm just going to kind of grab my big toe, draw my elbow inside the right, lift up my left hand initially, and then overhead. Focus on drawing your left shoulder back, focus on keeping your thighs apart, focus on that inner rotation of your thigh, and then use this to stretch out your left side. Reaching your hand for your foot. It doesn't have to reach. Some people have a beautiful, beautiful stretch. I'm used to be at one time in my life. It's not as much so that I can feel it, and that's what matters. Take an inhale. Fully exhale. Take another inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, rise up. Switching sides. Go ahead and reach for your left foot. I'm taking my left thumb, kind of wrapping it around my big toe. Still working my inner spiral so that my kneecaps are facing the ceiling. Taking my right hand up overhead. And then drawing it towards my left foot. One side might look different than the other. Our bodies are not perfectly the same on each side. But in yoga, we seek balance, and Hatha means balance. And Vinyasa means flow. So it literally translates to balance and flow. It's a metaphor for balance on the mat, balance in our bodies, balance in our lives off the mat. Take an inhale, fully exhale, and then inhale, rise up. Exhale, using the support of your hands, bring your knees up and together. And let's move now into our Shavasana. We're coming towards the end of our hour of yoga. Go ahead, place your hands out to either side. Bring your knees up and just take a twist on the right side, dropping your knees to the right. Inhale, bring your legs up, and exhale, drop them to the left. And inhale, bring up your legs, drop your feet. If you want, you can keep your feet like this. If you want, you can stretch them out below you. Going and setting up for Shavasana. I invite you to do whatever you got to do to get comfortable in your Shavasana. So you might need to lift up your hips and kind of allow some movement that puts your sacrum in place so that you're resting firmly on your sacrum. You might need to wiggle your shoulders a little bit so that they are creating space for your upper back and your neck. Go ahead and allow your arms to reside laying down on either side of your body, your palms facing the ceiling. No tension in your hands, allowing your fingers to just lightly curl. Okay. Now as we move into our Shavasana, I want you to take the time to scan the body. Inhaling and exhaling with evenness, bringing your heart rate back to normal, bringing your breathing back to normal. As you inhale and exhale, do a scan from the top of your body, from the crown of your head, all the way down. Telling each part of your body to relax. Allow the mat to fully support the weight of your body. As the mat supports your body, tell your body to fully relax. Allow any tension you might be experiencing to just melt away, melting down to the floor. As you lay here, draw your attention back to both the throat chakra and your third eye. Ask yourself how you can more deeply connect with the voice inside of you. How can you more deeply connect with your own intuition? It starts by having a trusting relationship with yourself. It helps to tell yourself affirmations such as, I listen to my inner voice. I trust my inner voice. I trust my intuition. I trust myself. When we have that kind of faith in ourselves, we can take that trust we have within ourselves and we can extend it to others. And we can use it to truly create harmonious and loving, respectful relationships that are focused on the value of connection and uplifting one another. Imagine a world with that kind of peace, with that kind of mutual respect. Change starts within us individually. Imagine that you are the change. I invite you to lay in a Shavasana for 5 minutes or longer. I urge you never to end a practice without taking time to integrate the benefits through a resting and restorative pose. The light in me joins the light in you. Thank you so much for joining Stephen and I tonight. Join us again next Thursday, same time on Instagram Live. Namaste.